I love you, bitch.
Oh my god.
I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. First of all, I want to show my appreciation for everybody who's been super supportive of my announcement that I'm probably only going to be uploading like once a week. Actually, I'm going to be uploading twice a week, like 2 times back to back this week, but it's going to be real spotty for a little while. I am just prioritizing some life stuff right now. Fret not, everybody over here is happy, healthy, and whatever, but I'm just having to do some stuff right now, and once it's all over, you will know, I promise. But yeah, I just wanted to start this off with thanking you all for being so supportive and understanding of all that. I really appreciate that. Today's video, I'm talking about someone that, like, I feel like this is all kind of old news, but when the news was actually happening, I didn't have my channel or I had just started it. And now that I've kind of like built an audience and I have you guys to talk to, and I talk a lot about body positivity and health and wellness and weight loss and how fat acceptance sucks and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to talk about it now. I was mainly like prompted to start thinking about this again because a reaction channel that I followed posted a reaction to this person, and so I was like, I should make a video about her because I have some thoughts and feelings, and I have some people asking me on Instagram as well. With all that said, I'm going to be talking about FatGirlFlow, or her name is Corissa, as I'm going to be referring to her as in this video. And I just wanted to talk about her because I used to be a huge follower of hers back in the day before I lost weight, and I used to really look up to her. And I want to kind of share my journey with that and my thoughts on her content now, and just to kind of tell you about her and feelings that I have. Because apparently you guys like me talking about people, so I'm just going to keep talking about people. If you guys want me to talk about specific people, I don't know, let me know down in the comments. I really enjoy making this kind of commentary content, so yeah, let me know down below. Some general housekeeping and house rules. We are not going to attack Corissa on any of her social media platforms. We're not going to attack her in the comments. Any negativity will be shut down. I'm not about it. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just feel like there's some constructive criticism to be lent, and you can do that without attacking the person themselves. So I know you guys won't do that. You're all amazing. In case you're not part of the Pierogi Squad, join, first of all, subscribe. But that's just the rules around here. That's how we do it. So yeah. If you don't know who FatGirlFlow is, or Corissa, she is an ultra like fat positive, fat acceptance influencer. I started following her, I want to say like 6 or 7 years ago, really long time ago. And the reason I followed her was because I was approaching like mid-high 200s, or like even maybe low 300s at that point, when I found her, and I really liked her kind of just open attitude towards being a fat person and taking up space and like that you deserve and all that kind of stuff. She lent some really good body positivity content, some really good style content, which is the main reason I was kind of in the fat acceptance movement to begin with, was just to be surrounded by people who looked like me, wearing clothes that I liked, and it really helped me develop my own sense of style. So I can't knock it for that. I talk about it in my fat acceptance video, but that's why I started following her. I want to say I was like 17 or 18 at the time. So yeah, I followed her for a really long time. Her body also looked pretty similar to mine. And so I found a huge sense of comfort watching her and watching her talk about, like I said, personal style, just life stuff. She talked about relationships and dating as a fat person and all that kind of stuff, and I just ate it up because it was really nice seeing someone who literally looked a lot like me body type wise talk about this stuff and share their clothes and all that as like a 17, 18-year-old person. I feel like her content kind of took a turn around the same time that my view of my weight and my body also took a turn. And I don't know if maybe my mindset changing is what changed my views towards her, or if others noticed a shift in her content as well. I just did. And I remember distinctly the video that did that for me. She posted a video, it's really quick, basically listing off a bunch of different things that like she doesn't consider to be body positive, which like a lot of them I actually really agreed with. I was like, cool, these are actually really valid points of like being body positive and what I personally think body positivity is. But then she said that she actually started with this, but I like just kept watching the video. So yeah, she said this.
Diet culture is inherently not body positive. I'm not saying that you personally should not go on a diet or lose weight or do whatever the fuck you want with your body. Absolutely, do whatever you want with your body. But do not look me in the eye, tell me you are on Weight Watchers, and then in the next breath say you are body positive.
And as someone who, I think I was about 18 or 19 at this point, who had just started Weight Watchers, because I could physically feel the effects that my weight was having on my body, and I was also just not liking how my body looked and how my body felt with all of the extra weight on my body. This really hurt me because I had looked up to her for so long, and I was on my own journey to being body positive. And for me at that point in time, I thought that me being body positive was me doing good things for my health. And for her to say that, someone that I had looked up to for a while at that point, in internet speak, it really hurt me, and it really kind of made me confused. And even though it hurt me, and it just kind of took me by surprise, I still stayed subscribed to her and following her on social media for a really long time. She was actually one of the like last fat acceptance people that I had to like break up with once I started kind of changing my opinions and my body and all that kind of stuff, because I don't know, I just had this attachment to her. She's adorable. Like she's adorable. I think she's adorable. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason me like breaking up with her as an influencer was really hard. But her content really started taking turns that I was no longer agreeing with, so I did make that decision to break up with her. Now, even though she's not super active on YouTube currently, I looked and I think she posted like 3 months ago on YouTube. She's still very active on Instagram. But she also had some drama happen with her around like 6-7 months ago, with another fat activist or former fat activism, health at every size person, Glitter and Lasers, or her name is Anna. And I didn't get the chance to like talk about that on here, so I wanted to talk about it now, because I think it's still really relevant and it's still a huge problem within the fat acceptance body positivity sphere. Now again, I had followed Anna and Glitter and Lasers for a long time, and she was also another influencer that I kind of had to like break up with when my views and opinions started changing as I started to get healthier. But last year, Anna came out with a video about how she had been diagnosed with lymphedema in her legs, and how losing weight and getting healthy was just something she had to do. And I really commended her for that, because I can't imagine how nerve-wracking that must have been for someone who is as prominent in that movement as she was, because that was her livelihood, and she essentially just had to like squash it because she had to get healthier. And I actually started following her again when she came out with that, because I feel like her content now I just feel like she's able to be more of her true self now that she's going down this path, and it's definitely on her own terms and what feels right to her, which I think is great. But I feel like she's being more of her authentic self now, and I love that. And so I'm following her again. Go Anna. That's a side note. Anyways, the thing with Corissa, FatGirlFlow, is she has some very outrageous views on body positivity and fat activism. And when Anna came out with this video, Corissa followed up with her own video. It was sponsored, by the way, which I don't agree with in this kind of instance. But where she did her makeup and she basically just like subtweeted Anna the entire time about starting a health journey, a weight loss journey, whatever you want to call it. The video is called YouTubers and Their Health Journeys. Let's chat. And she prefaces this whole video by saying, I don't have opinions on people who lose weight, but then proceeds to say things like,
I think that where we run into problems is when people who are trying to change their body act like their old body sucked. I'll tell you why I think that this is an issue.
She also talks about how she's going to get lip injections because it's something that makes her feel more secure with herself. And like, great, go get lip injections. Like, that's awesome. Plastic surgery, whatever. If you want it, go get it. But also, I feel like if you're going to say it makes you feel more secure in yourself, I feel like you kind of have to step back and be like, oh, maybe people who make the decision to lose weight and work on their health, that also makes them feel more secure in themselves. I can tell you, I feel leaps and bounds more secure in myself now than I did when I was 315 pounds. And then she goes,
there are lots of people who lose weight and diet and start exercising and stuff that somehow manage to not make people feel alienated. It's totally possible. It's a thing that people do all the time. When you make people feel alienated and like you think that you're going to be better than them when you lose weight, that's when people start having a problem.
And that's basically the gist of the video. She's insinuating that people like Anna, who like have built a following around like plus size clothing and fashion and body positivity and fat acceptance and stuff, when they decide to get healthy, they are alienating their followers and they're making them feel alienated, and you're making them feel like you are better than them for losing weight and getting healthy. I have said this time and time again. I do not hate my body the way it was at 315 pounds. My body was good. It was worthy of the space that it took up, but it was really, really unhealthy and was leading me down a very, very bad path, which is why I made the decision to get weight loss surgery, which I know if Corissa ever sees this video, she's going to have very strong opinions about probably, because most fat acceptance people do. After making this video and the backlash that came from it, she made another video where she basically admitted that she hadn't even watched Anna's original video. And yeah, my pages got screwed up. After that whole thing blew over, around the holidays last year, she made another video basically talking about how to survive diet talk around the holidays. So basically like how to flip conversations when your family starts talking about food and talking about diets or what, mainly just food, around the holidays. Because that's something, I guess. Feelings are valid, I understand. I just don't completely understand it. But yeah, she made that video. It's basically like, yeah, like it's how to flip the conversation about food at the holidays so you don't feel uncomfortable. And Corissa always claims that everyone should be as kind as possible and make everybody feel comfortable and whatever. But then, which I totally agree with that. Kindness is key. I love being kind to people, including myself. Then she goes and says stuff like this on Instagram. Before I insert this, thank you to my follower Kayla, who sent this to me, like I think last month, and made the initial request for me to talk about Corissa. So yeah, she says stuff like this.
21, I am no longer tiptoeing around people's feelings because I feel bad telling them that they are probably going to gain weight back after they lose weight. It's a fucking fact. We all want to throw these facts around about how me being fat means I'm going to die sooner. Me being fat means I'm going to have all these health problems. You losing weight means fucking nothing to me. You're going to gain it back. That's it.
So my issues, I guess, for lack of a better term, with the content that she creates now, I just want to preface them by saying that as a former super morbidly obese person, I know how fat people are treated in society and how they are looked at unfairly and how they are seen as lazy and all that kind of stuff, and every other negative adjective that you can think of, people pretty much associate with fat people. And I think that's a really important thing to touch on, because I think it's incredibly unfair, because when I was 300 pounds, I was anything but lazy. But yeah, so I think it's a great thing to talk about. I think it's a great thing to raise awareness of. And I also know that Corissa has openly said that she knows she's unhealthy and that she's basically okay with it. And she also acknowledged in that follow-up video to her video, basically subtweeting Anna the entire time, that she was no longer going to use the term body positivity, and instead she was going to focus on using the terms fat activism, fat acceptance, that kind of stuff. Like I said, I understand where Carissa's coming from with her content in terms of like destigmatizing fat people, I guess. And I say fat people like because I call myself fat. Like, I don't mean that any negative thing. And she uses the term fat as well. She has taken it a step too far, and she's gone from love your body no matter what size you are worthy of the space you take up, like love your body, all that, to the level of fuck you if you want to lose weight, you're gonna fail anyway, everybody who tries to diet does. And I think that is a huge overstep and overgeneralization, because lifestyle changes and diets are two completely different things. Yes, a lot of people who go on crash diets do fail because they're not realistic. But if you make small, sustainable changes, you will most likely have success. And if you have some willpower and some consistency, you'll be great. It's great. Whatever. That's awesome. That's not what Corissa thinks, though. And as someone who was told by her at a really young age, and as someone who looked up to her for such a long time, that being on Weight Watchers was not body positive, I think it's just a super horrible message to spread. Because in my mind, body positivity is doing whatever you feel is right for you. As long as, like, it's obviously not inherently harmful or whatever. If it feels right to you, go for it. Like, and in that instance, at that point in my life, really starting to focus on my health, trying to get my diet under control, trying to get my weight down because it was starting to affect me physically, was the biggest form of body positivity that I could do for myself. And to hear her say that when I was such a young age, and as someone who had followed her for such a long time, was really, really hurtful, and I don't think I was alone in that. I would also say that the content and the messages that Corissa and people like Corissa spread, are creating just an even bigger divide in the body positivity realm on social media, and that's obviously not conducive at all to anything. And, okay, I don't want to come off wrong saying this, but I literally can't think of a better way to say it, so I'm just gonna say it. Corissa makes fat people all seem very insecure and all very easily triggered, for lack of a better term, and makes them seem so incredibly sensitive with the content that she makes. And as a former, like, super morbidly obese person, I'm still over 200 pounds, I'm still obese, but, like, as someone who used to be super morbidly obese, I can tell you that's not the case. And I've met plenty of other people who have the same body type that I did, who are not that way. Saying that someone who has come out saying that they're going to start focusing on their health and losing weight is making fat people, making their fat followers and plus size followers feel alienated, and then making content about surviving diet talk around the holidays. It just makes the argument that fat people are lazy and sensitive just so much worse. Like, it makes people who actually have those beliefs believe it even more, which is why so many of the fitness influencers that I don't even like on YouTube talk about her, because her views are just so, they just come off so sensitive. Like, they make fat people come off so sensitive. And I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, and I'm sorry if it's offensive, but I can't think of a better way to describe it. And as a former super fat person, that pisses me off, because I was not like that. I was not like that at all. Yeah, I was hurt by some things that people said to me, but it wasn't like, I didn't give a shit about what people talked about surrounding food on the holidays. I didn't care. That didn't bother me. And I can't believe that I'm not alone in that. And so I just don't think her arguments or her content surrounding that kind of stuff is helping the narrative that fat people are just like everybody else at all. I know that Corissa has dealt with her own experiences with EDs and the actual toxic side of diet culture. I get that, and I'm sure that's where all of her views are coming from. But I don't like the blanket assumptions and the blanket just like feeling towards fat people that her videos kind of portray. Because I think she's taking a lot of her own insecurities and projecting them onto other fat people and other plus size people. And that's really unfair. And I don't think it's helping the argument at all. Does that all make sense? I have no idea. I hope it does. And also her videos and her content just gives off like a huge level of self-importance and an air of like self-entitlement, but that's just her, and that's whatever. But like I said, that's it. That's all I have to say. But like I said, I know this is all kind of like old news, but and I also just saw someone react to one of her older videos, and so I felt the need to talk about it. And I had a couple people on Instagram reach out to me to talk about her as well. And as a former follower of hers who really looked up to her, I felt like I had a conversation to lend and talk about why my thoughts and feelings changed towards her. Because honestly, I think if she was still making just not normal, but like less aggressive, less I hate people who lose weight, body positive content, I would still be following her. But literally all she talks about now is like how like you're gonna fail if you're gonna go on a diet or something. And I can't subscribe to that, so I don't. And like I said, I'm not trying to attack her in any of this. I understand where she's coming from as someone who was a very fat person moving about in society. I understand it, but I think she takes it a step too far, and she alienates a whole group of people that could potentially help her spread her message. I just want to make people more aware, because she is pretty active on Instagram and stuff still. I just want to make people aware of her and like the turn her content kind of took in my eyes, and just let you know that like, hey, what comes off as body positivity on the like front is not really all what she intends to do later on, or once you delve deeper into her content. But that's it. That's the video. I've been rambling for far too long. So I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself in these uncertain times. The light is kind of at the end of the tunnel, but I understand everything is still very, very odd and confusing and weird. Yeah, so stay kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. All that stuff. If you want to find me anywhere, all my socials will be down below. The links to my Discord will be down below. The links to my Etsy store and my merch store will be down below. The link to join the channel will be down below, which you get some fun little perks with that. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching so much. I will see you once or twice next week. We'll see. But you'll see me again really soon after this one. And yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. I love you all so much. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.